Hello. Hi. Hello. Oh shit. Text. I need that chat. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. 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 Hi. Hello. Okay. I got the chat. Chat is up. Okay. And one viewer. That's me. Oh, come on, Candy Club. Leave me alone. Listen, I can't afford you right now. It doesn't matter how much I want you. Anyway. Okay, so I just locked the preview there, so let me see if that helps if I go full screen. It does indeed. Excellent. That way I can see. Turn the music down a little bit. Anyway, hello. God, I almost didn't stream this morning. Most of my brain was yelling, sleep! And this one tiny part of my brain was like, consistency. Oh. Almost freaked out. Couldn't see my coffee. Okay. We're almost done with this game. It really doesn't take that long. Start new game. I talked to them already. Alright. Countess Rodriguez, if I might have a word. See, Inspector? I would like to know something about your relationship with North Vandernaut. What is it? No, I mean, I want to hear about your relationship with North Vandernaut. Oh, see, my English, she is not so nice. I meet Lord Vandernaut in Spain. I can't do a Spanish accent. One would gather, yes. I live in a beautiful city, yes, on the sea, Valencia. You know her? I've heard of Valencia. Lord Vandernaut, he stopped in Valencia as he go to Morocco, and here we meet. And an affair, occur, affair of the heart. How long did this affair of the heart last? 6 years. To him, who maybe had a woman in every port, I'm sure it was nothing. But my poor heart, it belonged to him only. When I hear of his death, I must come to say goodbye. Ugh. I wish you my condolences, madam. Tell me, did you ever discuss the Bloodstone with North? No, he never say. I never hear of such a thing until today. You mean you had no idea, even, that he was the owner of the Bloodstone? I've never heard of the Bloodstone before. Is that a fact, madam? Judging from those exquisite pearls and that tiara, I would have thought you were a woman who knew quite a lot about jewels. Oh, no, it is only that how do you say, the men who like me, they give me these things, and it is cruel not to wear, no? I'd like to hear something of your hometown, Countess. Valencia? She is the most beautiful in the world. There on the Mediterranean? No, she's on the Balearic Sea. I've heard that western Spain is the loveliest part. It is lovely, but Valencia, she is more lovely, and she is in the east. Of course, right there on the Bay of Biscay. Countess? Oh, my poor heart thinks still of North. I'm so sad. Forgive, please, but I cannot speak more. Pardon me again, Lady Vandernaut. Oh, it's no trouble, Inspector. Tell me, before we discovered what had happened to Mr. Dashalot, was there anyone else who entered the room after the Countess, other than the Countess and Colin? Not that I noticed, Inspector, but to be honest, I didn't really notice Colin. You see, I've been so lost in my thoughts, and it's a large room. I'm sorry. I know I'm no help at all. It isn't your fault, but to be clear, did you at any time see anyone, including the Countess, lingering near the door, or perhaps even sliding something under it? No, nothing like that. I would certainly tell you if I had. Very well, thank you, my dear. Tell me, you had not met the Countess prior to this week? No, not until she came for Uncle North's funeral. She's very nice. Is she? She said that since my own mother wasn't here, she would look out for me. That's very kind, don't you think? And have you noticed if she appeared to have a previous relationship with anyone in the house? No, I think she's like me, Inspector. She doesn't know any of these people either. Have you noticed what an unusual smile she has? What? Oh, yes. Smile. Well, if you notice anything, let me know. Lord Vandernot, has anyone... or Lady Vandernot, has anyone contacted you regarding a ransom for the Bloodstone? A ransom? Was it stolen? I hadn't heard at all. Well, it's elementary. The man who claimed to be the only one with the combination to the safe has been murdered. I'm going to find a way to open that safe, and when I do, I assure you the Bloodstone will be gone. Oh, dear. No one has contacted me about it. Well, when they do, you will come to me right away, no matter what they threaten to do to you, if you tell me. May I count on you, madam? Yes, all right, I promise. You mentioned that Mr. Egerton has been very kind to you. I know, my dear, that you are too innocent to suspect ulterior motives, but do you suppose you might be, as they say, leading you down the primrose path? After all, his family has every interest in the estate. What a horrible thing to say. Madam, there is no reason to get teary-eyed. One must be logical. I'm not such a bumpkin that I couldn't recognize that. Franklin Egerton is nothing like his mother. He's a famous scientist, and his kindness to me has been beyond reproach. Very well, my dear, we'll leave it at that. It is very cruel of you to try to make me suspicious to him. I'm only looking out for your interests, and if you are wise, you'll be as equally suspicious and careful until the killer is caught. You're a dick. No two ways about it. Uh-huh. A word with you, please, Miss Vandernot. Oh, very well. I wanted to ask you to elaborate on Mr. Masterwood's role in acquiring the Bloodstone. I don't know what else to say. There was a lot of legal paperwork involved. It seemed to take weeks. Insurance? Yes, I suppose. But not just for insurance. What exactly are you looking for, Inspector? I was wondering about something I saw in the paper. Why would a jewel thief risk capture by ransoming back a jewel he has stolen? It must be because really famous jewels like the Star of the India... Oh, shit. Fuck. Alright, I fucked it up. If Milton Masterwood filled out all the paperwork to make sure that North Vandernot was the registered owner of the stone, does that ring any bells? Vaguely, but since it wasn't my possession, I'm afraid I didn't pay much attention at the time. What do you think of the new heiress, Mrs. Egerton? Bah! Who is she, I'd like to know? Never had a thing to do with the family, a perfect stranger, yet North left her everything. Typical contrary man. You've never met May before? Nobody had. I suppose it's a lot easier to romanticize someone you've never met to do what is right by your own family. Oh, don't get me started on the subject. Tell me about your relationship with North. What relationship? North Vandernot was unforgivably cold and priggish, and I never will forgive him. Never. His will was the final insult. He practically grew up with my children as siblings and myself as his mother, but would he ever acknowledge that? No. He made it plain that he always hated me. I guess a mother has to put up with these things. But what he ever had against Franklin and Philippa, I'll never know. They both adored him. He left them nothing in his will? He left them something, but who did he give the bulk of the estate to? Some unknown distant relative from America. It's cruel. What are your impressions of the other guests here this week, Miss Egerton? Well, they're typical of North, aren't they? He had such bizarre friends, like the Oriental fellow. What kind of a person has friends like that? Racist. A well-traveled one. Oh, I suppose one picks up all sorts of things when one's abroad. Well, in any case, I try not to bother about them. They'll be gone soon enough. And did you know any of them prior to this week? I'd met the Oriental fellow. Tried not to have too much to do with him. However, I'm racist. I never met with the others. What about your daughter Philippa? How has she been dealing with the changes in the house? Philippa? She's doing perfectly well, as always. She's the toast of local society, you know. She has a dozen suitors. I expect she'll be married any day now if the mess doesn't turn into a scandal. I would appreciate it very much, Inspector, if you would make sure it doesn't. Madam, I will do my best. Did you hear the Gagarib the night North died? Don't be ridiculous. I don't hear things like that. Are you aware of the precarious position your son is in, Mrs. Egerton? Someone's been putting booby traps all over this house, and he's the most likely suspect. Now there's an actual murder to be accounted for. Don't be ridiculous. Franklin is too much of a milquetoast to harm a fly. Oh, but it's often the quiet one, silent for years, and then fiddle-faddle. Besides, he must harm quite a few flies in his research. Listen to a mother, Inspector. Franklin wouldn't and couldn't be guilty. It must rankle, madam, having to give up the title of your ladyship now that there's a new female Vandernaut in the residence. Rankle. You haven't the least idea. I became Lady Vandernaut when I married Lord Vandernaut, and why a person should have to give up their own name is unfathomable to me. It's outrageous. But a title is quite another thing from a name. It is my name, and that's the end of it. I suppose you would have your name back if something were to happen to May. Oh, don't try to pin any of this on me. That's absurd, as if I'd bother. She looks so familiar. Might I ask you some questions, Miss Egerton? I'm all ears, Inspector. What do you think of the new heiress, May Vandernaut? I don't know. Timid creature. She'll have to get some backbone if she's gonna survive this family. And you don't resent her coming in here, a perfect stranger, and taking over? Oh, shit. Shoot them all. They're all guilty. Yeah. Has she? I'd like to see someone try to take over for Mummy. No, I don't resent her. I think she's pretty green. I wouldn't want to be in her shoes, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of work that goes into running an estate like this. Really? So you wouldn't want the money? Oh, of course I'd like the money, but don't be stupid. But I'm not about to kill May Vandernaut to get it. Tell me about your relationship with North Vandernaut. It was civil, Inspector, nothing more than that. You knew him from childhood. There has to be more to it. North was like a big brother to me. He treated me as such, when he could be bothered to notice me at all. Do you know any of the guests that are here this week? I've met Dashalot and Fuling before, but not the others. You have never met Major Gunn or Countess Rodriguez? No, but the funny thing is I keep thinking I have met Countess Rodriguez. Isn't that odd? The thing is, Inspector, North didn't spend a lot of time at home, and he rarely brought his friends here. Not that I blame him, the way Mummy acts. Did you hear the Gagarib the night North died? Yes, we all did, just as we heard it today. Horrible. You don't really think it's that spirit? No, of course not. Frightened me to death. Fortunately, I was with... Yes, who are you with? No, I know I was dreaming, that's all. I wasn't with anyone. What do you make of your brother, Miss Egerton? Franklin? Why, he's a distracted, forgetful mess, and I love him, but he drives Mummy bonkers, of course. But lucky him, he just goes downstairs and gets far, far away from her. And he knows the castle very well, doesn't he? Both of us do. We used to play hide-and-seek for hours and hours when we were small, but God, that sounds incriminating, doesn't it? You can't think it's Franklin, Inspector. A gentler soul never was born. I'm sure that's true, my dear. I'm sure that's true. I hear you have quite a few young men. Rubbish. Your mother says you have a dozen suitors. Mother believes what she wants to believe. She probably told you I'm a huge success in society. She loves saying that. Well, the truth is I'm a bit ripe for the market. Now, my dear, not at all. I don't mind. I might have been a success once, if I hadn't been. Hadn't been what? Doesn't matter. I was in love with someone who didn't love me, so I never made the effort when the effort might have mattered. You and your brother weren't left much in North's will, I take it. Is that what Mother told you? He left us both some cash. It was more than I expected. Perfectly generous. But he didn't leave you the estate. We didn't expect him to. Really, we're not Vandernauts, not by blood, so there's no reason why he should have left the estate to us. It's not as though he was ever that close to either of us. He was gone most of the time. She's so Nice. I don't think you told me the truth about your relationship with North. There's nothing to tell. You were in love with North Vandernaut for years, I expect. I met him at a vulnerable age and he was dashing. What can I say? It was never mutual. Never? No, never. It doesn't matter. It never did matter, not to him. And how did you feel when they found North's body? God, you are cruel, aren't you? I felt awful. What do you expect? But I got over North a long time ago, Inspector. I didn't feel a lover's pain, if that's what you're asking. Thank you, my dear. One must ask these things. I guess. That's just a dick. Did you cry? Fuck you. Yes, I cried. But did you cry? Okie dokie. So, to the study. I believe I've talked to everyone. Yeah, I've talked to everyone. Alright. Oh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Aim. There we go. Yas. The Bloodstone. By gum, I was sure it would be stolen. There's something I'm missing here. Not again! Did everyone hear that, May asked. She was the first to speak after they had all rushed to the music room. It doesn't mean another murder, does it? Oh, please. Hang on, is everyone accounted for? Parker scanned the frightened faces of the group. Where is Fu Ling, and Juliet, and Franklin? Oh, wait a minute, I put Franklin down in the cell myself. Oh, won't someone go check on him, May pleaded. He's a sitting duck down there. Just then, Juliet and Franklin came in from the hall. Pardon, Juliet gasped out of breath. I ran down to check on poor Mr. Egerton, all locked away where the Gagorobe can get him. I could not leave him there alone. But how did you get him out? Parker demanded. There is another key downstairs, Juliet shrugged. I know from my cleaning. Parker groaned. May approached Franklin. Are you all right, Mr. Egerton? Franklin looked confused at all the hubbub. Yes? What's happened now? That devilish scream nonsense is what's happened, Parker stated. But everyone is alive and accounted for, except for Fu Ling. Major Gunn, he was with you, wasn't he? He was, yes. We were in the dining room when we heard that scream. I ran out first. I thought he was right behind me. Parker smiled at him. It was not a friendly smile. I see. It may be that someone has just shown his hand. The guests all began to question him, asking him what he meant and whom he suspected, but Parker was not ready to play his cards yet. Ladies and gentlemen, silence please. I have one area of this island left to explore, the gardens and back. This time you will all remain here in the music room together until I am done. Not one single person is to leave this room. Am I perfectly clear? Yes, Chief Inspector, everyone agreed, in a suspiciously unanimous chorus. And some spirit supposed to infest the bloodstone. The bloodstone was supposedly originally stolen by 3 tribesmen, and the person who owned it before that put a horrible spirit inside it to take care of them all, and they all died in very specific ways. And now North Vandernot and the 4 people who are associated with him in the sale of the bloodstone are all dying in those ways. Okay. Looks like someone's hidden it out here for regular use. I'll hang on to it. Those look like the same flowers that I found in the handkerchief in the kitchen. Really? There was a handkerchief in the kitchen? I think they're called bachelor buttons. What? Oh, that was the run right there. Like, wow, good job, babe. Good job, brain. Mm-hmm. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, god damn it. Learn to count, Cassandra. Jesus Christ. Oops. Whoops. Well, shit. God damn it. I'm off my game! So, of the suspects now, there's Countess Rodriguez, who appears not to be from Spain, and is using dark makeup to make herself look Spanish. So blackface, or brownface, anyway. Bad. Fu Ling, who is pretending to be a mystic oriental magician, when really he's just a kid from Yorkshire. I think. Let me see. Are there pictures? 1 second. No. Oh wait, yes, gallery. Let's see. Countess Rodriguez. Okay. And yeah, I'm pretty sure those girls are sisters. Yeah. And somehow Dirk the Smirk is involved. And he's a famous jewel thief. Good to know. Oh. Ha! Funny. I was just talking about this. Alright, that's it. There's just safes hanging about. Like, literally. Thank you, phone. Oh, I have a message. Oh, no, that's not. Wait, I do have a message. I have 3 new messages. Damn. Alright, hold on. Popular today. Bye! Have fun at work, Starkiller. Okay. So I have an idea for my backup character, for a concrete backup character. Whoops. In Tyler's campaign. I'm gonna be a tiefling, bard cleric. But I'm gonna have to look at the domains right now. I'm considering trickery domain because blessings of the trickster, but also invoke duplicity. Pretty cool. You may get to eventually. You may get to soon. I can hear a man count us through the doors to the music room. Now, my dear, you must listen. Once someone else is the legal owner of the stone, the curse will be lifted from this house. Only for you would I do this one thing. But 5,000 pounds, the stone is worth an awful lot more than that. Are you, and if you are dead, or someone you love, perhaps, it is you who I am risking my life. You should pay me to take it away. Oh, I don't know what to do, but it's not right to put you in danger either. Let me worry about the curse. All you need to do is sell the stone and get it away as far away from this place as possible. Please, just give me a little longer to think about it. Oh dear. Darling, time is running out. You must act, or the killing will not stop. They've moved away from the doors. By heavens, there is some vile treachery in this case. Don't care for cats. Sneaky devils, rather like my wife. Maybe if I had something to lure it with, I could get rid of it. Must be something I could find right around here. What do I have in my inventory? A shovel. Stop that. Oh, well, that's on me. Aw, that sucks. I recently just got dental myself. But I'm waiting until... Echinacea. Ginseng. They all look the same. Ginger. Dandelion. Garlic. Licorice. Nice. Senna. Valerian. Milk thistle. Peppermint. Catnip. Oh, hello. Astragalus. Bilberry. Aloe vera. This one doesn't have one. There's a freshly turned plot. Must be getting ready for some planting. Or call me paranoid, but everything is suspect here. I should investigate further. Yeah, catnip. I'll take some of that catnip. You never know when you need to coerce a feline. That must be Smithers, the butler. Looks like he's been dead nearly a week. He must have seen something he shouldn't have, poor man. I better cover him up until the coroner can examine him. Blast it, this killer is really getting on my nerves. Contrary creatures, I thought they liked catnip. Probably poisoned like everything else in this place. Bee Gone insect repellent. Might come in handy. Those bees are not going to let me inside. I'll have to get rid of them, but we'll need a tool of some sort. Hold on, where's the map? Oh. I'm gonna go there for a second. Oops. Oh, wait. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need an extraction at some point. I got that one impacted wisdom tooth. The nameplate says Lord John Vandernaut, 1832-1854. Lady Margaret Vandernaut, 1778-1842. Lord North Vandernaut. Hard to imagine that 2 weeks ago this wasn't here. Mortimer Vandernaut. A keen detective would notice these tracks on the floor and surmise that there might be something in here. Unfortunately, that lid is too heavy to open by hand. I need a tool. The nameplate says Luke Vandernaut, 1841-1862. Amanda Vandernaut, 1863-1885. Lady Jessica Vandernaut, 1873-1923. Lord Rupert Vandernaut. I believe that was North's father and Barbara Vandernaut's husband. Okay. Well, I think I gotta go over here first and look at that boathouse before I do anything else. Doot. Doot. He just killed all the... Fuck you, we need those bees to pollinate. Oh. Well, I mean, it's been like that for fucking ever. It grew in that way, pushing in like this instead of up like teeth normally do. So it's sideways, and there's no way to brush it really. And so it's not pretty looking. It's not hurting me currently. But there is like a tooth that's slowly rotting in my head, so, you know, that's gonna suck eventually. There's no two ways about it. It's the estate's boats for ferrying people back and forth to the mainland. Judging by that hole, surely someone wanted to make sure the guests could not leave this weekend. Telephone lines have been cut. That must be why I lost Master Wood when he called me. I found a marker from the herb garden. It says aconitum. Someone must have hidden it in this trash pile. That's it? Just those two things? Okay. Map. Crypt. Parker was in the garden next to a particularly fine hedgerow when it happened again, the unearthly wail of the Goggarib, and it sounded close. Despite knowing the source of the cry, the hair went up on the back of his neck. He cursed and went running towards the sound. When he came to the fountain, the group had already gathered there, and the doors to the music room were wide open. They were staring in horror at something, the body of Fu Ling lying in the fountain. This cannot be happening, Barbara Vandernaut said. Her mature voice croaked, and for the first time she looked shaken. May Vandernaut hid her face on the Countess's shoulder, sobbing. It's too horrible, too horrible. Major Gunn was smiling, rather madly. Parker thought, but you see? Ha, it isn't the Goggarib. The legend said he'd be drained of blood, but he's been drowned. Or, look up at the window, he jumped from above. Couldn't stand the pressure, poor man. Parker was examining the face of the dead magician, which was submerged in 2 feet of water. He pulled back the collar of the dead man's robe. No, Major Gunn, Fu Ling did not suffer death by drowning, nor did he take his own life. See these marks on his neck? He has been absolutely and completely drained of blood. Oh, no, sobbed May. There, Bambina, soothed the dark-haired lady. We will make it right for you, see? As we discussed. But, Inspector, there's no blood, Philippa pointed out, her society cool shattered. Yes, Parker said thoughtfully, observing unstained ground and clear water. Quite so, quite so. May turned to face Inspector Parker, her nose red and eyes swollen. It is the Goggarib. No human could have done this. It has to be supernatural, or else how do you explain it? I cannot, Parker admitted. I will sell that wretched stone. I want it to be as far, far away from here as possible. Parker saw a fire in her eyes and a backbone he hadn't suspected the timid mouse possessed. Didn't make her as attractive, he thought, but he supposed she'd need it as an heir for Ravencourt Castle. Fuck you, dude. No one is selling anything, he said firmly. But, Juliet began, not until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Parker glared at each and every one of them. Now tell me, how was it that someone left the music room this time, and who left it? With many caveats and apologies, it came out that Countess Rodriguez had had a fainting spell and was accompanied by Juliet to the ladies' room. Colin and Major Gunn went together to find some smelling salts in the basement. Barbara and Philippa thought May and Franklin had never left the room but couldn't be sure. It's so difficult to watch yourself being betrayed, Barbara sniffed. I couldn't bear to look at the two of them over there, conspiring in the corner. Mother! Said Franklin, turning curiously pink. I was reading a magazine, Philippa shrugged. And you, Parker asked May and Franklin, can you testify that Barbara and Philippa never left the room? It was plain from their guilty faces that they had not been paying the least attention to anyone but each other. Parker rubbed at a stabbing pain in his forehead and wondered idly if it would be possible to lock up the entire crew and be done with it. So you are telling me that not a single one of you can be accounted for by more than one person. Very well. So be it. I do not mind in the least. You think you can challenge Chief Inspector Parker, but I assure you that I am not remotely thrown. Back to the music room with a lot of you, and while I wrap up this investigation, and this time I will lock you in. There's a puncture wound on his neck at the jugular, and a small red prick on his cheek. And there's something in his pocket. Fortunately, it's not too wet. I haven't decided whether or not to mention it to Parker, but I think I saw the booby-trapper, the person who was wearing a long dark hood and cloak, so I didn't see the face, but there was something about the figure. I'm sure it was a woman! Good heavens, I wish he'd finished that entry. Map. Oops, shit. What did I do? A bit of white lace. Looks like it's been torn from someone's clothes. Alrighty, so now... basement. Maggots. Okay. Common housefly, Latin name, Musca domestica, lay eggs in rotting organic matter, maggot larvae hatch in 3 weeks, spread bacteria and viral infection. It's an envelope from Hargate Prison. Must have been sent to someone in this house. I better not leave it here or it might get destroyed. Oh, I wonder who it could be. Okay. Blow dart. Wait. What was that? Oh, nothing. Okay. Huh. His defense says Chamberlain is now a reformed and elderly man. He expressed a desire to go live with one of his daughters! Hey, guess what? He had twin daughters. One of them's name is Juliet. Yeah. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to put an end to this charade and reveal which of you is the booby trapper of Ravencourt Castle. Parker used his best dramatic voice. It was seasoned with anger. Well, it's about bloody time, said Major Gunn, and you'd better have it right this time, Parker. I hold no hope of that, sniffed Barbara Vandernaut. Silence! The first thing that became clear to me was the motive. More than one motive presented itself, swimming into view like a mirage in the desert, yet I was not fooled. The real motive was obviously the Bloodstone. The motive was, of course, the Bloodstone. You see, I believe the killers have plotted this for months, perhaps years, perhaps even since reading about North Vandernaut's purchase of the stone. And the first step in this dire plan was North Vandernaut's murder. He died of natural causes, Barbara Vandernaut snorted. I attended the inquest myself. Really, Inspector, you should know that much. Yes, said Parker. The inquest did rule death by natural causes, but they were wrong. I shall tell you how North Vandernaut died. Aconitum poisoning. North Vandernaut was killed by the administration of lethal doses of aconitum, monk's head. It has a dangerously stimulating effect on the heart, and it caused the fatal heart attack. It was you! Yeah. Anyway. Philippa Egerton lit a cigarette with shaking hand. Whoever did that will pay, she said in a deceptively mild tone. Oh, yes, said Parker, they will indeed. But North Vandernaut's death was critical to the killer, you see. Not only did North have to be removed, but this gathering for his funeral was all part of the plan. Are you saying the killer brought us here deliberately? Major Gunn demanded. But good heavens, man, how would they know about us, and why? All in good time, Major, all in good time. We must follow the killer step by step. Parker's eyes lingered on each of their faces. Step by step. He was pleased to see a trace of fear where he expected to find it. First, there was the death of Milton Masterwood. He was killed by dogs. Why such a bizarre method? Surely a gun or knife would have been easier, but the killer was trying to replicate the story of the Gagarib. But how'd the killer know the dogs would attack Masterwood? Colin asked, skeptical. He was known to work in the library, said Parker, which had easy access from the garden. As for the dogs, they were agitated by bachelor buttons. The killer fed the dogs bachelor buttons, also from the garden. The flowers induced agitation and aggression. They might well have attacked anyone, but in fact Masterwood was the only one in a room the dogs had access to at the time. Seems far-fetched to me, Barbara Vandernaut said, her face pinched. Does it indeed? Parker said, smiling darkly at her. What about Dashalot? Major Gunn demanded. Yes, precisely. You and Dashalot were in the dining room together. A note came under the door. How did the killer know Dashalot would be the one to pick it up? Gunn blustered, looking a bit guilty. The killer did not know, Parker answered smartly. But it didn't matter. They gambled that either one of you would be compelled enough to buy a note from May to take the bait. The truth was, Major Gunn, you and Dashalot were both on the target list. Good Lord, Gunn said, sinking back into his chair. But it was Dashalot who took up the note, read it, and went down to the furnace room to meet May. He met his fate by being hit by a poker and put in the furnace. The killer struck Edmund Dashalot over the head with a poker, knocking him out, and then put him in the furnace. How could anyone be so brutal? Philippa asked, looking ill. It takes a cold, cold heart, Parker said grimly. The complete absence of a moral core. Oh, yes, our killer is quite psychotic. Monsieur, you are mistaken about everything. It is the Gagarib, Juliet exclaimed, her wide blue eyes glittering. No, my dear, said Parker quietly. It is not. Now, for the death of Fu Ling. No human killer could have done that, May insisted, even if one of us were capable of all those other horrible things. But that is precisely what you are supposed to think, said Parker. Fu Ling and Gerald were in the dining room, and once again either of them would have suited the killer's purpose equally well, for both had links to the Bloodstone. It was the fate of the last one of them to leave the room to be chosen for death. Major Gunn, you escaped the killer twice. My word, Gunn muttered weakly. My word. Fu Ling's death was the most difficult to pull off, and the most heartless. I will tell you all how it was accomplished. First, he was rendered unconscious with a blow dart. Yeah. Rendered unconscious by a blow dart, but the killer had very little time before we were all gathered in the music room once again, and their planned method for killing this victim would take some time. You see, he was killed by that. By having his blood drained by a vacuum device from the basement. Because I, Inspector Parker, was in the house, the killer could not afford to take their time over Fu Ling, so the unconscious man was hooked up to the dreadful machine, and... Ooh. Yes, good. Placed in the dumbwaiter until the killer had time to make sure he was dead and to arrange the body for maximum effect. Barbara Vandernaut stood up, aghast. But that is too bizarre! Why would anyone do such a thing? You must be insane. Not I, Mrs. Vandernaut, but that is exactly what I had to ask myself. What would drive a killer to go to such Herculean efforts? But you see, it was for a very good purpose, and that brings us to the Gagarib. For the Gagarib is the point, after all. It is the raison d'etre of this entire charade. You see, I found a gramophone used to produce the Gagarib's cry in the Vandernaut crypt. That old intercom, Franklin said excitedly. Gosh, I nearly forgot all about that. Yes, said Parker, the old intercom that Mortimer Vandernaut had installed so that he would be able to summon the house if he was buried prematurely. That was how the killer produced the Gagarib's cry. But that is how, not why. If the Bloodstone was the desired gold, why not simply steal it? And what, for the matter, is the purpose of the booby-trapping? Yes, why? Asked the Countess, her eyes narrowing. I don't believe this story for a moment. Why would someone do this thing? To instill fear, Countess. To instill terror. I admit I was confused for a time. Then the clouds parted and all became clear once you understood the killer's agenda and who the killer is. The killer! Check all that apply! It was you! And you! Next. I, Inspector Parker. It was you! You did it! We solved the mystery! Oh, man. I should have pulled a Boston Legal. I'm just, limbering up. I, Inspector Parker, became convinced that there were at least two people in this plot. You see, at the time of the murders, each person had an alibi provided by at least one of the others. I had already eliminated Mr. Gunn. It is true that he needed money, but his fear is genuine, if cowardly. Also, he was not here at the time of North's death and could not know the house intimately. Then, there is Philippa. She had loved North, and he had never had any interest in her. There is nothing so dangerous as a woman scorned, and yet she had, in fact, moved on. With the gardener. What? Barbara Vandernaut exclaimed, shocked. No, Parker continued in a smug voice. Philippa's motive for harming North came and went. As for Colin, he had access to the dogs and the handkerchief of bachelor buttons I found in the kitchen, but he was in Philippa's room the night of that North died, and thus could not be his murderer. What? Barbara sank into a chair, extremely pale. Philippa rolled her eyes and took a drag on her cigarette. What do you mean? Asked Franklin, glancing at May worriedly. I mean Countess Rodriguez, said Parker, pinning the dark-haired lady with his eyes. I? Said the Countess innocently. Yes, you. Why the dark makeup? It is true you are pretending to be Spanish. It is true you are pretending to be Spanish and to have known North, which you did not. But not all Spaniards are as dark as you have made yourself to be. No, you wear it to disguise your face. Is that not so? It was Philippa who unwittingly said she kept thinking she had met you before. With your makeup, it is a subtle thing. Without it, it would be clear that you are the sister of Juliet Minoche. That's not true, Juliet said, springing up. Ladies and gentlemen, Parker announced, may I introduce you to the daughters of the famous jewel thief Dirk the Smirk, Juliet and Isabel Chamberlain. That's a ridiculous lie, Juliet shouted, her face red with fury. Oh, but it is horribly true, my dear, said Parker, grimly. You see, it all ties back to the Goggerib. Why did you not simply steal the bloodstone? Because as the daughters of Dirk the Smirk, you knew that you cannot fence a famous gemstone. Of course we knew, Juliet spat out, her English suddenly much improved. My father wasted his life stealing jewels and ransoming them back to their owners. It was laughable. He never got a quarter of the gem's value, and he was bound to be caught at it. So you devised a plan, said Parker, in which you would become the legal owner of the stone by terrorizing May so badly that she would sell it for practically nothing. That's why North had to go. He would never have succumbed to your intimidation. But May nearly did. Very clever, mademoiselle. Very horrible, but very clever. But then you are much smarter than you let on, are you not? Gerald and Franklin grabbed the Countess, but Juliet stepped back, a gun appearing in her hand. She pointed the weapon at Parker and fired. The gun jammed. Juliet pressed the trigger 3 times, but nothing happened. Parker watched her, smiling. With a scream of rage, she tried to run from the room. But as she stepped on a floor tile, trying to dodge around the Major, something happened. The tile depressed and there was a faint click, and the chandelier came crashing down, right on top of Juliet. The end. That's a rather abrupt ending. Hey, I knew it. That's cute. Ta-da! I wonder what the point of changing players is. Oh. Okay. Oh, I locked the preview. Alright, so that was Betrapped. I mean, it's a fun game if you like mysteries and dialogue, which I do. I like mysteries and dialogue. There's also actually Inspector Parker, which is also fun, and it's one of those. It's a logic puzzle game. You know, like the poison is in the room underneath Ophelia or whatever, right? So basically, and then like it gets more complicated as you go on, you know, and that you've got clues and shit, and it's timed, um, and you can eliminate clues and everything, but I really like to try and figure it out without actually eliminating anything. It's more fun that way to me. I wonder if it will let me put it up there. Game capture. Oh. Yeah. Don't call my dog stupid. What the hell is going on here? Oh. One sec. What is that? No? Alright. That's fine. Cool. Must be time for Portal 2. I mean, listen. Of course, we gave you a break that last time. New recruit and all. Let's try it again without any items revealed. Sure. Okay, so order of that one is gonna be poison, knife, gun. Poison, knife, gun. Guy. Guy. There you go. Rude. Let's re-examine the case at Misenthorpe Manor. Truth was, there were 6 suspects and 6 potential weapons in every room. Pay close attention now. You can do it. We'll even give you a bit of help this first time. I mean, you don't have to. Alright, so not these guys. It's not in the same room. Oh, that means it's just this one. And that one. Which means that's the noose. That's the gun. It's not you. Not you or you. Might be either of you. Except that one. And that, and that, and that, and that. Yeah! Who'd she kill? God damn it. Aunt Agatha! You might be ready for some real police work. Listen. Okay, so it's gonna be axe, noose, rat poison. And which is gonna be in the top one. So axe, noose, rat poison. The axe is over Fred. Was that his name? Who cares? Okay, so the arsenic, or laudanum, whatever, is on the bottom floor, right next to Harriet. So that and that. 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 And that. His name is Boris. Damn it, Boris! I got promoted in 3 minutes. Now, about that murder of Agatha Misanthrope, there was a motive. Always is. We found proof of that motive in the family bedroom level of the house. Surely you can handle this one, Constable. We've given you a bit of a head start, it being your first day on the yard at all. Alright. Alright, so... illegitimate child, will, money. Boris. That guy. Maurice. Huh. Oh, yeah, you know. Okay, so it's gonna go Maurice, and then Portia, who's under the will, which is right to okay. So that will, money, baby, Boris, laudanum, gun, knife, 23 seconds. Alright. So, Heart, Stella, Gem. Portia, who's on a different set of levels. Heart, Stella, Gem. Money. Gus. Huh. Oh, okay, so this guy is set, so it's gonna be Nancy. Nancy to the left of the money, which is right under Gus. Oh no, which is right over Gus, so actually it's up here, so there's actually some confusion there. That's okay. Baby and the last will, not connected to anything. It be like that sometimes. Okay. Alright, so let's eliminate some stuff. This is on the left, so it can't be on the right. She's on the right, so she can't be on the left. She can't be on the right. They don't share a room. Alright. Oop. Here we go. There we go. A little bit clearer now. Oh. Hey. Rude. Harriet clocked her over the head with the revolver. Things getting a bit too hot for you? No? Don't be so cheeky. Oh, fuck. Alrighty. So, looking for things that match. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Oh. Okie dokie. Oh, that's those levels sorted. Cool. So, Harriet, Axe, Portia, and the axe is on the upper level. So, Harriet, Axe, Portia, and there's Boris, and there's the knife, and there's the laudanum. Okay. And that's that, so here, and this, so what? Oh, here, and here, and here, and here. Oh, yeah. Once again, Stella was murdered. Murdered. Chief Inspector Detector. Oh. Sure. Alrighty. So it goes Will, Money, Rolly, Nancy. That's 3. Oh! Ah. Rage. Oh, Furious Letter. Furious Letter. Okay, so that. Money, Rolly, Nancy. There's the baby. There's Portia. There's, whatever her name is. Stella. Boris is over the gun, and there's that. And then that, and that. Alright. Jesus Christ, Stella! Like, it's funnier when you consider the fact that the victims are randomly generated. Just, Stella is super unlucky right at the moment. Let's see. You, what is your name? Cordelia, then Rolly, then... Okay. Cordelia, Rolly, Stella, Nancy. There's the will. There's Portia. There's the gun. Now that we have that corner, there's the baby. Okay. So... Money, Boris, Fred, Noose. So it could be this, or it could be this. And then that, so... Oh. Obviously. Oh, well I had it wrong anyway. Oh. Sergeant. Okay, now we get complicated. A little bit. Not much. Alright, so Maurice is on the bottom level because the laudanum is above the gun. Which is also under the baby. Alright, so... Nancy is under the broken heart, the love letter. Gus is on the same level to the left of the heart. Got to be a man. Women don't have the blood for this sort of thing. Like, listen. Alright, Fred... Alright, Stella's to the right, Gem's to the left. That's good. Oh! Alright. Alright. Whoops. Oh, damn. No, that's right. Well, I mean, it could have been wrong. I forgot. I didn't see her there. Okay, Cordelia is in the upper level, over the gems. Oh. Could be either of those. Nothing else deals with the gem. Alrighty. Okay. So, what is your Lawrence? Will Lawrence letter. Lawrence. Will. Hi, Gus. Money. It's pretty old. I mean, I've had it for a number of years. I mean, I found it on the internet first, and I was like, what is this? But it would only let you play the demo. It only lets you play like the first 8 or so levels, and then it wants you to pay for it. And then I saw it at like Walmart for $5, so I was like, yes, mommy, buy this for me. Hold on a second. $2,006. Okay, Lawrence is on the top row, right over the money, which is to the left of Cordelia. Left of Cordelia, who does not appear in this list after that. Okay, so Lawrence is on the top row to the left of the jewelry box, which is right over the baby. Jewelry box? Okay, hold on. He's over the money, which is over the rat poison, which is to the right of that, so he's not in this row. He's not in this row because there's stuff to the left of him. Or the right of him, rather. I don't... Okay. Harriet does not appear again in this list. Oh, there she is. Okay, so... Rolly. Will. Okay. Aha, okay. Okay. Damn it. Okay, the rat poison. Harriet, which is... Oh. Lies! Oh, Harriet is to the... Ha! Okay, Harriet's one over from there. Or, well... It's unspecified which one she's over. In the... I've missed both of my misses. Okay. In the less difficult versions of the game, it sometimes actually tells you how many they are away from each other. Cordelia was murdered by Boris with a revolver. The motive was an illegitimate baby. I've been promoted! Yay. Woohoo! Evidence. Who do we got? Portia? Who is not on the evidence list at all. Cool. Alright, so Boris is to the left of Fred. He's also under the button. Fred is over the knife. Stella's under the button as well. Nobody to the left of Stella. Nobody to the right of the knife. Or nothing to the right of the knife. Okay. Oh, Nancy is over Fred. And under the lock of hair. Which has no further mention. Okay. What about the receipt? Nothing. Okie dokie. Money. Okay, so Rolly is over the money, which is to the left of the will, which is over the gun, which is to the right, or the left of the rat poison, which is to the left of the noose. which makes no further appearance on this list. He's also under the footprint. Okay. Hey. Bum 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 bum. Alright. Button. Receipt. Footprint. Button, receipt, footprint. Money. Porsche. Oh. Fred Maurice. Button, receipt. Wait. Yeah. So Fred Maurice. Button, receipt, footprint, money, Porsche. Oh, no, not quite. Okay. Okie dokie. So, baby. One, two, three, four. Okay. Interesting. True polymorph changes the physical form, though. Not... You keep all your mental shit, don't you? Ooh. Blood. Cool! Method of disposal. Alrighty, so... You become the creature after an hour. Wow. I wonder who pissed off Pumat's soul. Alright. Gerald. That's true. I suppose. He just found creatures and was just like, I don't care about you. Now you're me. Okay. How dare you, Rolly? How dare you break this woman's heart? Anyway. Evelyn is to the left of both the handkerchief and the button. But the button is to the left of Stella. Who is above Rolly, who is to the left of Cordelia. So Evelyn, Button, Stella, Cordelia. Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah. Evelyn, Button, Stella, Rolly, Cordelia. Rolly, Fred. Maurice. Okay. So. A. Alright. Okay. What? Wait. What? No, get back here. Shit. Oh, crap. What happened? No. Oh my god. Holy crap. That is... Sure? Listen. Holy crap, something happened. Will you please? Oh no. Damn it. Ah, fuck. And I'm back. Is it the same game? It might just well be the same game. It's the same game. Yay! Okay. What? Wait, why is it not showing anything on my screen? I just now noticed that the screen was blank. I mean, listen. It's a, it's an engaging game. I would prefer to play games like that when there was a chance I wouldn't be interrupted because I hate interruptions. So not this Thursday, but maybe this Saturday morning. Although, it's possible that my housemates, because we all have Saturdays off, it's possible that my housemates might want to play through a campaign of D&D, so I might not be streaming this Saturday either. I might be streaming every other weekends. Where the hell? Why? What is happening? Why? Why are you happening? You know what? Alright, well, it's 12:05 anyway. I gotta do some stuff for my, D&D campaign. Plus, I'm sure I'm sure Inspector Parker was thrilling, but, I got shit to do. It's kind of funny, because, like, my, my roommate, my room, the roommate with whom I work, Toby, has expressed an interest in joining my Thursday game. And I was like, are you sure? Because they're about to die. And, yeah, so that might be happening. It depends entirely on when, our old manager, Alyssa, got a new job, and we're all extremely happy for her, because there are very few people whose goals in life are to be career Papa Murphy's employees. And so we got our new manager who worked at the at one of our other stores, and Her name is also Alyssa, so new Alyssa. I just call her Pops. Because apparently people call her Dad for some reason. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter because now I can call her Pops. And um, she's the manager. Toby is the assistant manager. If one of them is not working, the other one has to. So if she has Thursdays off, then he can't have Thursdays off. And I'm pretty much just hoping that she has Wednesdays or Tuesdays off. You know. So listen, it'll be used eventually. If you live, so much the better. Maybe you can explore the other 3/4 of this dungeon. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So, bunch of things going on. We'll see what's up. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens. And of course, I will keep you updated, regardless of whether or not you care. But yeah, so I'm gonna go. I gotta work on some stuff in case they die, or for later in case they don't. And so I will be back on tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. or 12. What is it? Noon. 10 a.m. to noon, and then I think that's gonna be my schedule for mornings on non Thursdays and Saturdays. We'll see. But thank you for coming along with me on this exciting adventure. I care. I know you care, and I appreciate your caring. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you all have a good day. I'll catch you later. Bye.